Ba-da-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-bum. Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum. Hello, everybody. There we go. Welcome to another Monday mini medicine card reading. I am getting set up. It was nice today. Normally on Mondays, I do readings down at Crescent Moon Gifts in Tacoma, and which I did today. And now that we have moved the video time, I actually had time afterwards to come home and eat something. Ooh, nice. So, of course, then I had to hurry up and get my stuff together. Probably one of the only people who can be late for their stuff when they're here already, but oh well. So thank you for coming. Thank you for your presence. I'm just going to light my candle, light a bit of sage to smudge my cards. First, I have to dig them out of my book bag. There they are. So, if you haven't been here before, my name is Patrick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am glad you are here. And what we are doing, these are the cards I use, the medicine card deck, and each card has a different animal on it. And so what we do is I pull 3 cards and you choose a number between 1 and 3, or you can choose a couple numbers or all 3 numbers, whatever your little heart desires, because you are the sovereign being in your world. And then whichever, whoa, smoky, whatever card corresponds to the number you chose, that is your guidance for the week. So, hey Sage. So I'm just smudging the cards good. They got a little bit of a workout today. I like to smudge them when I get home. So, anyway, and so we do this on, my thinking is, I actually started this back toward the beginning of the pandemic. I figured that everyone, including me, needed a little more guidance to get us, keep us with some context, perspective for the, whatever the new normal would be. So I started doing it on Mondays to give people that extra bit of guidance through the week. And so you get to see which animal guide or 2 or 3 volunteer to walk with you this week and to give you their strength and whatever medicine they offer. Got nog. All right, so I'm just shuffling up the cards. Come on in. Choose a number between 1 and 3. And if we have time at the end, I'm actually going to guide you in a little guided journey to meet whatever animal volunteered to walk with you this week, so that you can get a message right from them directly without the intercedence of me or anyone else Nope, there's to keep shuffling. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. You just saw how much I was shuffling the cards, and I think all 3 cards were part of the last reading I did this afternoon. So that's interesting. All right. And I've got my festive Christmas sweater on. It not only has unicorns, but it also has jackalopes. So feeling very festive. I got my eggnog. All right, so let's move that smudge over a bit. So number 1. If 1 is the card you chose, you got alligator. So alligator medicine is largely about integration. If you picture alligator out in the river, you know, and she's floating there with just her eyes above the water, but her eyes are on the side of her head. So she can literally see the 360-degree panoramic view around her. So, number 1, she knows herself to be the center of her world. She is the center of her reality upon which everything else revolves. Number 2, she, her world is not fragmented or splintered. She knows exactly how this part over here fits with this part over here. You know, with the way we live our lives, we kind of compartmentalize everything, right? You got your work life, you've got your social life, you've got your family life, you've got this and that. And in every single scenario, they're separate, and you're like a different person in each scenario. And it feels like our lives revolve around the other lives, right? And so what alligator does is helps to bring you back to center and shows you the entire puzzle, how that piece over there connects with that piece over there, so that you can get more of a sense of your wholeness, more of a sense of your connection to your world. And because of that, one of the gifts of alligator medicine is because of that, because of knowing how the different pieces fit together, seeing the whole picture. She's a master of timing, divine timing. You know, she knows exactly how much to flick her tail to get her floating toward the bank at the right velocity to arrive there right as the deer are coming down to drink, and she has breakfast. So there's a sense of timing. There's a sense of just going with the flow, you know. She lives in the water, so she lives in 3 dimensions. If there's something in her way, she can either go over it or under it or around it. She's not stuck just, okay, I can't go any further. There's always a way around or over or under. The other thing about alligator, the part that I love is alligator, number 1, is a survivor. She has been alive on the planet for millions and millions and millions of years. unchanged. She is so well adapted to her environment, to her role in the environment, that she has not had to change in millions and millions of years. What that means is that she carries with her, how do I put this into words? The original, unchanged, unfiltered, deep earth goddess, divine feminine wisdom. She is basically your mother line. It's that unbroken channel of divine feminine, of earth, that deep, you might say dark, but dark in a good way, you know, the womb, the earth and all her wisdom and connection. Alligator carries that from millions and millions and millions of years, unbroken. And so, if that's the card you chose, you may be experiencing more of that intuitive divine wisdom rising, like bubbling up, and you're like, where the heck did that come from? It's because you're connecting to the Earth Mother in a deeper, more pure way, with no, again, like I was saying earlier, what we do, if we have time for the guided journey at the end, it's like getting your information right from the animal and not through a filter, not through someone else, not through a middleman. This is getting that original lush, rich, divine feminine wisdom from the source. And another aspect of Alligator is that, believe it or not, she is one of the best mothers in the animal kingdom. You know, you wouldn't think about it first because it's, you know, it's cold-blooded, you know, lizard, reptile. But when she lays her eggs, she not only protects the nest, but she actively turns the soil in the nest to make sure that all the eggs get equal amounts of coolness from the earth and heat from the sun. So she is actively turning them, actively nurturing her eggs as they go. And and it's interesting. It's like I love the divine feminine aspects of Alligator. One of the interesting tidbits that I usually don't mention is that and I think this goes for humans as well. Like the babies start out being female, and there's something that happens in the development that turns them male. And it's like that with alligators. All the babies are female unless it depends on how much sunlight they get in the egg. And those who get, and this makes sense, father-son, the ones that get more heat from the sun proportionately, they turn into male offspring. So even the male alligators are connected to that deep mother line of wisdom from the earth. And then when they actually hatch, the mother gator takes them in her mouth, takes them down to the river, and teaches them how to swim. And then the children, they stick around for like at least a year or two. So it's a very family-oriented reptile, right? Interesting. I never thought of this before, but bringing up the whole heat of the sun creating the masculine alligators, my guides just gave me a vision of the alligator, and what does she do all day but bask in the sun? And so, and you know, it gets warm by the sun, and so it's the balance, that masculine and feminine balance, you know, kind of. Well, I'll mention this. There's another card here, number 3 card, that kind of relates to that, and I'll bring that up when I get there, but I don't want any spoilers yet. Anyway, so that is alligator. You're being nudged into the center of your life to realize that the world revolves around you, not the other way around, and that everything around you is connected, that every aspect of yourself is connected to you. You are the bridge. Whatever, you know, we all have these things that we geek out about, you know, we have, and so we, you know, we have all these different likes and dislikes, and, you know, and our interests and our hobbies, and no two people are the same. You are unique in your loves and your desires and your likes, and you are the bridge between these far-flung interests and talents and likes. It's like there may be nothing else in the world tying two of these things that seem to have nothing similar to them. You are the common ground. You are the common denominator that brings those two things together. So, all right, number 2. If 2 is the card you chose, you got one of the house favorites, Jaguar. Jaguar. Jaguar, in a word, is about integrity. And it's like, I say that, and then it's like, what else is there to say? Because it is like, cats of all animals, you get what you see. There's no pretense. There's no gap between the thought process and the heart process, between heart, thought, and action. It's instantaneous, and that's what integrity is. It's that connection of all those aspects without any interference or static or overthinking things or whatever. Integrity is, boom, you are who you are, you do what you do. And that's all there is to it. There's nothing superfluous. There's nothing extra. There's no pretense, no pretending. You know, you see a jaguar coming down the path at you, you're pretty sure you know what's going to happen. And so there's and one of the greatest, one of the main components of integrity is your heart. Jaguar gets her authority from her heart. Her heart is her authority. She doesn't get it from any external source. She is the queen. She is the royalty in her kingdom, in her domain, and she doesn't answer to anyone. She doesn't have to prove herself. She doesn't have to justify herself. She is all. She is sovereign. And as the queen of her domain, the apex predator, her domain, and I know I've said this before, I don't know if some of you get tired of hearing me say the same things over again, but Jaguar's domain, rather than being the pyramid of power like our society has, hers is the circle of life, just like the Lion King. She's at the top of the circle, but her well-being feeds the well-being of everybody else on that circle. Her heart tells her what to hunt, when to hunt, who to let live, who to let die. And she takes the sick and the weak, leaving the rest of the herds to flourish. She doesn't take any more than she actually needs to live. Why would she take any more than she needs? That just becomes a burden. And so by seeing to her well-being, answering to her heart what is appropriate, as she thrives, her domain thrives, and everyone within her domain thrives. So it's not a power over like the pyramid where the person on top got there by the broken backs and exhaustion of all the people stacked underneath them. Excuse me. This is the circle of life. So know that you are your first priority, and setting yourself up as the most important person in your life, which you are, is not selfish, because the world, the universe, is a non-zero sum game. It's not someone has to lose on this end of the equation for someone to win on this side of the equation. The more this one rises, the more the other side rises. As we all do better, we all do better. And so it's your duty to the universe to take care of yourself, to see to your own needs, your own desires. And, you know, the other thing about jaguar, like all cats, every hair on their body is a whisker. So every hair feels. So when I think of them slinking through the jungle, it's like almost like they're making love to their environment because they are so in touch. They can tell that the slightest change in temperature, the slightest change of the breeze, they're that in touch. And so, again, like alligator, you are the center of your reality. And you don't, like I think it was Kafka talked about, you don't need to, or actually Lao Tzu, I think, said something about you can know the world without leaving your home, because your heart is your authority. Your heart is what connects you to everyone else. Your heart is what connects you to Source. So what your heart says is automatically for the highest good of everyone. So you don't have to keep going out of your way to check with others, get others' opinions, try to figure out how this is going to affect that person, and blah, blah, blah. It's your heart, because your heart is connected to the heart of that other person. So if your heart says, yes, go ahead, you go ahead, knowing that no matter how that person responds, that's their choice. But if your heart says yes, it is for their highest good as well. So let your heart be your authority. You are a sovereign being. And, what I was going to say about the whiskers, that the sensitivity, Jaguar knows how connected she is. You do everything knowing that you are connected to all things. You are connected to all people. You are connected to all living beings. And so your heart, again, is the authority. Trust your heart and move forward with what your heart says. Okay? All right, number 3. 3, if 3 was your number, you got the wolf. Wolf is the teacher. Wolf, the pack always has scouts that go out ahead of the rest of the pack and get the lay of the land, figure out which way is dangerous, which way is safe, get an idea of what lies ahead, the best path through, and then they come back to the pack and let the pack know what's ahead of them. If this is your card, you are on the forefront of the changes happening in the world. You are going through things that other people haven't, so that they have the benefit of your experience when they get to where you are now. Does that make sense? You're on the fringe. You're the trailblazer, checking things out first, getting the lay of the land, being willing to challenge things and question things and find out new things where other people may be afraid to ask. And then you come back with your experience under your belt, be able to say, this is what happens when you do this. Or if you go this way, this is what you're going to encounter. I know, I've been there and I survived. So that's the first thing. It's interesting. I mentioned I'm just realizing the parallels between these two. As far as being family oriented, number one. And the other thing that I was going to mention, and when I was talking about Alligator basks in the sun. She's the divine feminine. She basks in grandfather's sun. Wolf, canines tend to be seen as masculine, and they get their power from Grandmother Moon. So both of these cards have a very balanced masculine and feminine. I'm going to have to delve into that a little bit more, but with Alligator. But as far as Wolf goes, Wolf being the masculine, getting his power from Grandmother Moon. Grandmother Moon is the divine feminine, that intuition, the knowing, and Wolf being the masculine taps into the feminine knowing, the feminine, what do I want to call it? Wisdom, and then acts on that wisdom. And it becomes inspired action, because it's like when we align with our spirit before acting, then our spirit inspires us to do action. All our actions become inspired action. You know, inspired comes from inspirited. And that way, everything you do has more of an impact. It's more balanced. And so Wolf is the medicine of acting on that intuition, giving shape to the formless, acting in a way that brings that divine feminine into the world. The other thing that Wolf is a guardian. All dogs are protectors, right? Guardians, they guard. Even domestic dogs, they talk about how your dog needs a job. They're job-oriented. They need to protect. They need to do something to serve. And the same thing is with Wolf. So if that's your card, what I'm getting is it's time to answer the call to the role you agreed to play in this life. To hold that space, to step into that post as guardian. Because that is what you agreed to do here. And without that goal, without that job, that intention, you feel like free floating, or you feel like rough around the edges, or formless, or like you just kind of, you know, waver back and forth with no direction, no consistency. Wolf is here to help you maintain those boundaries, to maintain the I'm trying to, the word just popped out of my head. But he's here to help you maintain the form in which the divine feminine can come into the world. So, yeah. So if this is your card, give yourself credit for the courage it took to come back into this life and to explore things that other people are afraid of, going beyond your own fear, going outside your comfort zones in order to make the way safe for everyone else. I just got an image of, I had two main heroes when I was little, well, three, but Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett were my biggest heroes. I actually have, I made a prayer candle to Saint Daniel, and he was the trailblazer. He was the wolf. He was the one who brought people into the wilderness, who opened it up for people. And I'm not going to get into the politics of the colonizers and all of that stuff, but metaphorically, the mythic role of him is the way shower, the pathfinder, the trailblazer. If this is your card, that's what you are called to be doing. And it doesn't matter where you go, what you do. Again, like with Jaguar, let your heart be your guide. Let your heart be your authority. Even if it's the goofiest thing on the planet, even if your joy is sitting around the house watching Bigfoot videos, learning about Bigfoot, continue to do that. If that's what your heart's telling you to do, do that. Explore that. Take it as far as you can go with it, because who knows, in the bigger scheme of things, you might discover something or put something together that no one else ever has, or you might have your own encounters and be able to expand the horizons of other people. Expand the horizons. Make it safe for others to explore those things as well. Okay? Wow, I did that really fast tonight. Woohoo! I'm being prompted to pull another card. So, since I kind of went through those kind of fast, I'm going to pull a fourth card. This is a card for everybody. It's a Christmas miracle. Buffalo. So that is for everyone who's watching this. The buffalo comes along to remind you that it is a safe, friendly, and abundant universe. The universe is abundant, and that the universe provides for you everything you need. Abundance is not just financial. Abundance is everything you need to survive, to live. But even think about like an apple tree. They don't just produce like 100 apples and okay, that's my quota for the day. They keep producing and producing and producing because that's what they do. And in following the directive of who they are, they produce more apples than the surrounding wildlife can possibly eat. And so the universe is naturally abundant. When we talk about starvation and different, like the overpopulation challenges and all these things, the problem is not scarcity. It's not that we don't have the means to solve all those things. It's not a challenge of sources, resources. It's a challenge of thinking. It's a challenge of how we think, how we categorize things and people and values and worth. We have enough food to feed the planet. We have enough homes to shelter everybody in the world right now. The only thing that stands in the way is thought, is believing it can't be done, or believing it's not right, or they didn't earn their way. There is abundance for everyone. And your source of abundance doesn't come from outside. You might get your paycheck from someone, or you might get paid for doing certain things from someone else, but your true source of abundance is source, creative source, the divine, goddess, God, whatever you want to call it. It's your connection to source that reflects in your outer world in the abundance that comes. And your abundance is not just having a huge bank account upon which to draw from. Abundance is being in the flow of life. It's, you have something you need, boom. Someone comes along that either has that or has the information you need to go get that. It's having enough to eat, having a place to stay, to sleep in safety. The universe, the world is actually very abundant. There is more than enough for everybody. And by connecting to your divine source, you will be amazed at the miracles that happen, the ways that the abundance will find you. When you know it, when you believe it, just like Dr. Wayne Dyer says, you'll see it when you believe it. When you believe it's an abundant universe, you're going to see opportunities everywhere. When you're grateful for all the blessings in your life, the universe will give you more opportunities to be grateful. You are a sovereign being. You are the center of your world, and you are connected to the source of all life. There is no one and nothing that can stand in your way of that abundance, because it is all the connection of you and the divine. It's that simple. And when you know that it's a friendly universe, I've said that before. One of my favorite Einstein quotes is that the greatest decision you'll ever make is if you live in a friendly universe or a hostile one, because they're mutually exclusive. If you live in a hostile universe, it's a world of scarcity, scraping by, other people having more power, more things, having to sacrifice yourself in order to earn what you need, what you want. If you live in a friendly universe, you know that everything that happens is for your highest good, that every challenge even is a step in the right direction to a greater expression, a greater realization of yourself. When something falls away, it's because there's something bigger coming. It's an abundant universe. It's a friendly universe. So you don't have to be on guard all the time, watching out for the next threat. Even in the Bible, it's, Jesus said, ask and you shall receive. When you ask knowing that you're going to get an answer, the universe is going to answer you. To put it this way, the universe is a closed system, right? So you can't have, how do I put it? You can't have a space without there being something to fill that space. You know, it's the yin yang, it's the dance of space and non-space, space and solid. But in a closed system, if you have a desire for something, if you have a need for something, that is the opening, that is the open hands opening, ready to receive whatever you need. You can't have a need, you can't have a desire unless there is something to fulfill that desire on the other side. All your longings, all your dreams are proof that they are fulfillable. You couldn't have them if there were nothing to fill them. So know that you are abundant. Everything you need will come to you. The universe has your back and will take care of you. Okay? Woohoo! All right. So, we have time. So we're going to do a quick guided journey, kind of a guided meditation. I'm going to take you in to talk with at least one of the animals that came to you. You each got at least 2 animals because you got one of the other ones and buffalo. But so you can go in with the intention of speaking to at least one of them and then see who shows up. Like I said, it's like my job as a shaman is to empower others. My job is to help others make their own connection. I'm not here to give approval or to grade anyone or to be the liaison between you and your maker. I'm here to open that channel between you and your maker. And so whatever I can do to help you connect directly with your own source of inspiration, with your own guides, your own animal spirits, then that is my joy and what I am compelled to do. So, because whatever I say, as much as it may resonate, is still hearsay to your ears. It's still secondhand knowledge. So anyway, so I'm just gonna beat my drum softly as I guide you on this journey. So take a deep breath and hold it for a moment. And let it go. Take another deep breath. Hold it for a moment and release it. Relax. Feel your weight supported by the chair or the floor or whatever you are sitting on. Relax into yourself. And then bring your awareness to your third eye in the middle of your forehead. And open it up as if it were one of your other 2 eyes. And look out into your imagination. And you find yourself on the edge of a forest, looking out across a vast meadow. You hear the birds in the trees behind you. You hear the buzzing of the insects ahead of you. You feel the sun on your face. And as you look forward, in the middle of the meadow, there is a large, flat rock, just begging for you to sit on it. So go ahead and make your way through the tall grass, feeling it rub against your legs, against the tops of your fingers, watching the dragonflies and the bees buzzing and darting around. get to this rock, go ahead, climb up, and make yourself comfortable. Feel the warmth of the sun-warmed rock beneath you. Feel the warmth of the sun on your face with the coolness of a breeze that keeps you at exactly the right temperature. And as you sit here, you notice there's a brook, a river that runs next to the rock. You can hear it bubbling. And as you sit here on this rock, we invite one or more of the animals who came to guide you this week. We invite them to come from the sky, from the river, from the trees, from the grasses. And when they arrive, thank them for joining you. Thank them for coming to meet you one-on-one. You can pet them, scratch them behind the ears if appropriate. And now I'm going to be quiet for a minute or two to give you the space to converse with them yourself. You can ask them, what is their personal message for you? And what is it this week that they are coming to help you with? What gift do they have for you to help you through your week? So I will be quiet now, continuing to beat my drum and let you talk. So it comes time to bid them farewell for now, knowing they are always with you, and knowing that you can always return to this magical, sacred place to converse with them again. So once again, thank them for coming, thank them for meeting you, for conversing with you. Scratch them behind the ear. Thank them and allow them to retreat from back from where they came. And if you for some reason didn't receive a message or they didn't show up, know they are still here. They may approach you through your dreams, or through a conversation you hear, or through an article you read. You have invited them in, and so they will come. And as they leave, feel yourself sitting on the rock, and slowly that rock transforms into the chair or couch or floor or whatever you are sitting upon in three-dimensional reality. Bring your awareness back into the room so you're aware of what's around you. Come back fully into your physical body. You can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, you can even tap on your chest or on your legs. to bring yourself fully back, fully embodied. And then slowly at your own pace, and only when you are ready, feel free to open your eyes, to come fully back, fully charged and awake. Welcome back, everybody. Have I mentioned I love doing that? Anyway, so I hope you got something from that. And like I said, even if you didn't get anything tonight, know that these animals have volunteered, whichever one it is, to walk with you through this week, to bring you their wisdom, their courage, their confidence. And if you didn't get anything, feel free. I'm going to share this to my Facebook page and also upload it to my Perching Wolf Studios YouTube channel, so you can watch it anytime, again and again if you need to try that guided meditation, or pay attention to your dreams especially, or to just random articles or random conversations you might hear, knowing that you are connected to them, that their wisdom is your own. So that is our time for tonight. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're new here, I hope you come back to join us. If you did enjoy it, know that I do this for individuals as well. I do, like I was doing that all day today, doing readings for individuals. If you want a personal reading with me, you can contact me through my website at perchingwolfstudios.net. And there's different, I do 15 minute, half hour, hour long readings, depending on how much you want, how much you need. And you get at least 5 cards to yourself, all focused on you. This is kind of a generalized, New York Times holograph, Zodiac, what am I thinking? Why was I can't get the word. Horoscope. I blanked out the word horoscope. This is like the general horoscope you get in the newspaper, because it's not focused on any one individual, so it's kind of like wrapped up with everybody who's watching or who may watch this in the future. But if you'd like a personal, if you're having some challenges, especially during this time of the year, or if you would like to give someone a reading as a holiday gift, I do have gift certificates. Again, you can reach me on my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can email me at perchingwolf@hotmail.com to get a gift certificate to buy someone else a reading, or for that matter, any of my shamanic services I offer on my website. So check all of that out to see what I offer that might resonate. I do different healings and classes. I'm going to have a number of new classes coming up in the new year. So check that out. Again, follow me on YouTube. You subscribe. Well, you can follow me on Instagram. All kinds of stuff. So, and again, thank you so much for your presence. Thank you for showing up. I love doing this, and just that anybody shows up just tickles me to, like, it makes me, it's that infinity loop. It's like I'm giving to you and you're giving to me. It's that mutual blessing. So thank you so much. And if you feel so moved, I do accept donations. This is my full-time job. And so I don't always have the steady paycheck. So if you like this and you feel like donating, I gratefully accept donations, and the information is in the description of this video. So, but this is always free. This is from my heart. And also, if you're interested, if you don't know, Wednesday nights I also do at 7 o'clock a video. That was really poor grammar there. Anyway, I'm also a pipe carrier, a sacred pipe carrier. On Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock, I do another Facebook video with doing a sacred pipe ceremony. And it is one of the most sacred, if not the most sacred space that I know of in my experience. And so the whole intention is to hold space for others to connect to spirit, to have a space of quietness, of connection, of stillness, to connect and to send their prayers and intentions up through the sacredness of the pipe ceremony to connect to Great Spirit. And so if that calls for you, please join us that night, Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And I think that's it. I also have on my website, I'm also a cartoonist, and I have some graphic novels and comics, booklets that I put together. So have a gander at those. If one of those might make a great holiday gift, have at it. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you. Know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. So have a wonderful, wonderful week. Tell your friends, share this video. I hope to see you next week, if not Wednesday night. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Go shining. All right. Bye, everybody.